Okay, recording this video after close of trade Monday, 27th of September 2010. And before I just go through my day trading for the day, just going to show you the daily high-level charts. So first of all, only 1.1 million contracts traded on Monday. We kind of closed down after a pretty explosive rally on Friday. But 1.1 million contracts is really light volume, and we're still above this cyclical resistance level at this point. And so, whether we keep above that or kind of break below it is kind of a key question. This uptrend is not going to be over until we see end of trend warning signals on the higher time frames. And we've had it on the 81-minute chart, so we've got a pullback and end of trend warning signal on the 81-minute chart. But in the 135-minute chart, we have not. And my gut feel kind of says what we're going to come down is come down to some level of support, have a cyclical cross, that'll be our pullback, and then we'll finally see a final push to the upside with some exhaustion volume, because on better X trend we're still waiting for that elusive exhaustion volume in order to pull this stop right up and trail that stop and break into a downtrend. Not similar to what we had in previous kind of rallies. This one here, volume that took off, volume at the top, this is the volume that kind of took off. We need to see exhaustion volume on the upside. So just to say, on the 135-minute chart, we need to see that pullback and end of trend, and I think we're heading towards the pullback level, but wait and see. And then on the longer time frame charts, some of these things become obvious now in kind of retrospect. A couple of days ago, at the beginning of the week, we had our end of trend warning signal with kind of blow off volume on the 40,500 tip bar chart. Then on Friday's activity, after the professionals kind of on the Thursday, they kind of came in and the close on Thursday, we had this explosive rally on Friday, but it ended up being a flush signal on better momentum, so we kind of flushed out the buyers. Stopping volumes, profit-taking patterns, and bearish divergence here, all those kind of distribution-type patterns. And then in the after hours, kind of a classic here. It's like a finger sticking up with a Rambo pattern, or a potential reversal of the amateur breakout. Those are the amateurs kind of thinking the rally's going to go to the moon and kind of getting on board. Not dissimilar to the one we had a couple of weeks ago. Again, this is in the after hours. Kind of spiked up Rambo pattern, kind of sold off after that. And we could be coming back into some kind of support level to make that final push up. And the support level, I think, is going to come in on the 135-minute chart. But then just want to talk about the day trades that I took today. I've got a longer video with kind of real time of those. It takes me quite a lot of time to piece those together and so on, so I don't do them frequently. And these are the two trades that I took. I was waiting for because I saw weakness in the Sunday, I was waiting on the 4500 tip bar chart for the first kind of cyclical down swing, and we had that entered short at 42 up here. The first kind of bar up was an amateur bar, then the second time we pushed into that level it was a professional bar with bearish divergence, so went short here. And then I was playing these swings on the better sine wave on this time frame, and so took profits at 39. I was hoping for a little bit more, but we really stuck around that 39 level, and because 39 just would not break, and we had a whole bunch of kind of accumulation type patterns kind of come in and went long. Got out of that too soon, but both trades were good for 3 points, so I was happy with that. There was a couple of more points in that long trade here, and there was an excellent exit signal with an end of trend warning signal as well. And then because that the 44 was like the high for the day, we had our flush signal up here and we kind of sold off really hard. This struck me though, as we were selling off because of all these professional bars coming into the close, as a real spike down move to kind of flush sellers out. You can see on better momentum it was really extreme in terms of the amount of selling activity. In terms of price damage it wasn't huge, but in terms of selling volumes it was pretty huge. So in the after hours we've kind of gone further than that, but that could create an opportunity to get a little bit of a bounce. So those are the two trades I was playing. Let's just back it down on the different time frames. Let me show you the 1500 tip bar chart first. You can see the first time we came into that, we had a Rambo pattern, amateurs at this point here, and then a second kind of push up. This is almost like a complex correction kind of going up. The second time we came into here with professionals selling at that point, and then on the lower time frames we actually had a nice little flush signal, and this was professional amateur activity pushing up this last point here, and that's where I went short. And then we came into quite a lot of professional buying at 39. with exhaustion selling at this point here. I took profits when we had an end of trend warning signal on the 500 tip bar chart, which came in about here, and then because we just wouldn't break 39 and it was coming up to our cyclical turn on the 4500 tip bar chart, went long again here. A little bit too early. The better entry would have been here or here, kind of later on after we'd had flush signals and more bullish divergent signals, but all of that becomes clear in retrospect. And then took profits at 42.75, just about here where we got our first kind of exhaustion buying at this point. The move was good for a couple more points to the upside, but I was just good to be out of that trade. And then on the 500 tip bar chart, you can see it a little bit more detail. So this is, coming into, we'd had our amateur kind of push here. This was the professional push here. We had a final little push up on amateur bar at this point here. When the low of that amateur bar was broken, that was my entry to go short. We'd had our exhaustion buying. We had a flush signal. This is what was flushing out the buyers at that point, and then we kind of broke into a downtrend pretty quickly. This was kind of the better point to get out 39, but didn't know that at that time. We had to sit through. I sat through a little bit of kind of retracement here, but then as soon as we got the end of trend warning signal and 39 wouldn't break, that was the exit. And there we had another flush signal on the downside, and so that was for me good enough reason to get in long. And you can see that was, I wouldn't say it was a poor entry, but I did have to sit through quite a lot of this kind of garbage leading up to lunchtime. And coming back in, professional bars here, then another spike in. This was a really nice kind of spike down. As soon as that spike kind of came in and we started to rally above it, and then had this test. We had a test here with an amateur down bar, bullish divergence. I really like these close to the zero line. They're usually kind of good entry points, and then the market kind of took off to the upside. So we'd had our end of trend warning signal coinciding with the highest time frame for trend, and then on the upside we actually got another end of trend warning signal, second cyclical turn after that with all these flush signals, and that was 45 was the high for the day. All those professional blue bars kind of coming in, and then we the market got destroyed on the downside. So anyway, there we go. Hope your trading went well, and good luck with your trading on Tuesday.